It is both a private diary and my personal history of this war. This is my story, the stories of my friends, my acquaintances, and strangers, the story of my country. Taken together, this is not only a chronicle of Russian aggression in Ukraine, but a chronicle of how the war imposed by Russia and Russia's attempt to destroy Ukraine as an independent state have contributed to the strengthening of Ukrainian national identity. The war has made Ukraine more understandable to the world, more understandable and more acceptable as one of the states of Europe. 29/12/2021. Goodbye Delta, hello Omicron. Goodbye Delta, hello Omicron. This could describe the pre-New Year mood in Ukraine, and it puts us on a common trajectory with Europe and the world. Common values and enemies are the best weapons against geopolitical loneliness. But Ukraine would not be Ukraine if the New Year mood of its citizens was not enlivened with some bright and chaotic political decisions. The orchestra of state power, the Cabinet of Ministers, has been shooting new bills into the sky like fireworks, causing everyone to look up in amazement at the exhilarating spectacle. Ukrainians always have something to talk about, to discuss, and disagree with. When the Ministry of Defense decided to register almost all women between the ages of 18 and 60, the topic of a possible war with Russia came to life with renewed vigor and made its way into every kitchen. Apparently, this was the only way to revitalize Ukrainians' fear of war. People had already grown so tired of being afraid of it. It was frightening in 2014 when, during the annexation of Crimea, the Russian State Duma voted to allow Russian troops to fight on the territory of other states. Since then, the Ukrainian-Russian war has been going on de facto in the Donbass. Yet another proof of Russian military presence in the Donbass came to light when a fighter from there, under the influence of drugs, stumbled into the Ukrainian army positions. During interrogation by the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, he complained of bullying by his Russian officers. Needless to say, the announcement by the Ministry of Defense about registering women for military service has worried Ukrainian men. And women do not like the idea either, especially since it has been clarified that both pregnant women and mothers of young children should be registered by the end of 2022. What's more, women who fail to register by then will face substantial fines. In short, far from causing a new consolidation of Ukrainian society against its enemies, this bill has provoked vigorous debate about the competence of the country's military leadership. It was probably in order to diffuse these disputes that the authorities decided to puzzle citizens yet further with another bill. It came from the Ministry of Ecology and increases the fines for damage to protected natural resources. The decree specifies the size of each fine applicable for any possible damage, including the killing of an ordinary frog, H.R. 14 per frog, picking a mushroom without permission, H.R. 75 per mushroom, the illegal collection of wild nuts, H.R. 1154 per kilogram. Defenders of the decision concerning the military registration of women base their arguments on the example of Israel, where women serve in the army on an equal basis with men. It is a pity that the defenders of protected frogs, mushrooms, and nuts have not employed similar tactics, for example, citing the mushroom police in Switzerland, who have the right to weigh a mushroom picker's harvest in the forest and to issue a fine if the harvest is greater than is allowed under Swiss law. In general, I would prefer Ukraine to follow Swiss examples rather than Israeli ones. This is what I would wish for my country for the new year. In the meantime, I look back and think, what do I want to transfer from 20